Episode 106. Welcome to Style Masterclass, the podcast that teaches women to look stylish and feel confident so that they can show up ready to conquer and slay no matter what size they are. I'm your host, Miss J. You ready? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. This week, we're going to talk about something that has come up repeatedly over my last few coaching sessions with my Style Masterclass students. The ladies going through Style Masterclass right now are all entrepreneurs. They have their own businesses, they are creating things, they are serving others and creating change in the world. And you know, I love the idea of the ripple effect. So the work I'm doing with them is going to affect how they show up for their clients, and then how their clients show up for their clients, and that ripple effect continues, right? I'd like to think that confidence is contagious. So, in light of that, one of the things that keeps coming up, or at least has come up on the first session with the two newest clients, is how does defining my personal style affect my business? What's the correlation there? I've heard you talk about that, Miss J. Walk me through that. And it came to my attention that perhaps I have not made that super crystal clear on the podcast, and it's time to show you how important locking down your personal style is as it relates to your business style, and it relates to how you deliver whatever service you're offering. Style is so much more than the clothing you wear. So here's the analogy I'd like to give these clients, and I want to share it with you because I think a lot of you could benefit from thinking about your business and your personal style this way. Imagine if you were inviting someone to a dinner party. We're inviting them to your home. We're decorating your home for their arrival. We're sending out invitations, and we're crafting the wording of the invitation, the method by which the invitation is going to be delivered, and we're planning what you're going to wear as the hostess of this party. Now imagine we send out these beautiful, handcrafted invitations, and we have someone actually pen in calligraphy, beautiful penmanship, these invitations, and it's very formal. So the expectation of the person receiving the invitation, who received it by mail in this very formal way, is that this is going to be a very fancy, perhaps black tie dinner. So let's say they arrive at your house, and you open the door as the hostess, and you're in your jammies. And you didn't quite prepare the house, and there's nothing really set up, but they can go out back and pull up a chair. And oh yeah, you're going to grill some hot dogs. They can help themselves to whatever's in the fridge. The party goer might be like, what on earth? Why go through the trouble of sending me this beautiful invitation with this handwritten calligraphy on this beautiful papyrus paper if all you were going to do was tell me to pull up a chair and you were going to grill me a hot dog? And clearly you didn't care about this party enough to even bother getting dressed. You showed up in your frickin' jammies. Do you see the disconnect? So here's how this analogy works, right? The house where you're inviting them to, that's where your website is, maybe your brick and mortar store, wherever your business resides in the world. I want you to think of that as where this party is being hosted. And I want you to think about that invitation you send out as the copy for your marketing materials, the copy in your social media posts where you're inviting people to come learn more, the copy in your emails, the copy in your offers, the offers you make to people to sell them things. I want you to think of that as your invitation. And then I want you to think about how you show up to the party that you're throwing. How do you show up to the services that you offer? Now, let's say it wasn't so janky, right? Let's say you invited someone and a really nice invitation. It wasn't overly formal. It was just hey, come by. I have some great things I want to offer you. And you let them know it's a buffet. Or in this case, if we use the analogy, it's a do-it-yourself course. You're going to be going through my course. It's do-it-yourself. It's self-directed. But I want to invite you in. I kind of want to show you the lay of the land and what it looks like, right? So let's say you're inviting someone to a buffet, which is sort of akin to a do-it-yourself course. When you open that door, when you first greet those people who are coming in to take that course or to enjoy the buffet you're offering, what are you wearing? Now, the person who walks in is not necessarily going to expect you to be in a formal ball gown. That would be kind of weird, right? It doesn't fit the invitation, and it doesn't fit the spread that you're offering. But let's say you were nicely dressed. You looked professional. And how you were dressed fit their expectation because your copy was laid back, but it was professional. So your personal style, when you open the door as a hostess, is also laid back yet professional. You see how this ripple effect works? When you lock down your personal style, it's so much easier to create a branding style for your business because you've done the work on yourself. It's so much easier to write copy that represents who you really are as the service provider when you know what your personal style is. It's so much easier to consider what you're offering and how you want to offer it, that spread on the table. Once you've locked down your personal style, this has an effect. We want consistency across the board. We want the party goer to have that door opened and have what their expectations are be the reality. Oh yeah, my invitation, the wording of my invitation, how my invitation came to me matches the woman, the service provider who's opening the door. My hostess matches my invitation. The spread before me when I go to this party matches the invitation. It matches my hostess. Where this party is being held matches my hostess, matches the invitation, matches the spread before me. But it's so hard to lock all of this down and know how to decorate for your party, know what to offer at your party, and how to invite people to the party when you don't even know how you want to show up as a hostess. This is where things get really gobbledygook for my clients, especially when they're getting into compare and despair. Oh, well, Coach Susan, fake Susan. Coach Susan is doing this. She loves pink and bold colors, so I'm going to do pink and bold colors. But secretly, your personal style is a little more on the goth side. So when you open the door and you're a little goth and your invitation was super pink and the house where you have the party is super pink, they're going to be a little like, what? This is not what I was expecting. And there's nothing wrong with a little goth, and there's nothing wrong with a little pink. The disconnect comes when you are acting and showing up as something other than yourself, which is why it's so important to know yourself. Style, remember, is an outward expression of the thoughts and feelings you have about yourself. And if you don't even know what those are, why are you inviting people over to a party that you're not ready for? And I don't say that as a criticism. I just want to show you where your work may lie. I have some clients I'm working with right now that they have people show up to their client consults. I mean, they are getting people on the phone. They are getting people to these Zoom meetings. And a lot of times they're not converting. And some of the feedback they're getting is there's some discrepancy. You sounded different on your podcast. You sounded different in your email. I was expecting one thing and I got another, and that's because there's a disconnect. Their personal style isn't shining through consistently and how they're inviting people over to their party. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business owner, your personal style matters because we want consistency in who is providing the service along with all the service that's being provided. And when there's a disconnect, you create distrust in your buyer because they're like, okay, you did a little bait and switch. You sent me this formal invitation and showed up in your jammies. What really am I getting here? Or if you show up and you're casually dressed and you use really formal language in your invite, there's some disconnect. If you curse like a sailor, like y'all know I do, and you get on a consult call with me, I don't want you to be shocked by me dropping an F-bomb. I want you to be like, well, that's how Miss J rolls. If I sort of use humor to break the ice with you, I want you to expect that. I like to say some outlandish random things to break the ice and get to your heart. But if you're used to me being super formal and very stuffy, when you get on a call with me, it might be a little weird for the both of us. It's so important that you know who you are and you're expressing that outwardly, truly, not as comparing yourself to others, but you're showing up authentically 100% as yourself. And you're allowing that to shine through in your invitations, in your offers, in your copy, in all your marketing. That your website, which houses your business, represents your personal style. We don't want them to be so incongruent from each other that you affect a trust, a like, know, and trust factor with your client. You've built so much. You work so hard to build that like, know, and trust, only to really, really create some disconnect when they get on a call with you and you're not what they expected. Now, that's not to say you can manage anyone's expectations. People's thoughts and opinions are their own. But we also don't want to inadvertently set up some false expectations because we are showing up inconsistently. We want consistent style throughout. And the only way to create a brand and a business that is consistently you, consistently authentic, that consistently builds like, know, and trust, so that when they meet you, you just foster more like, know, and trust, is to lock down your personal style and show up as that woman consistently. Now, if you are struggling, like some of my clients were, with some disconnect, people getting on consults but not converting, people expecting one thing from you and getting another and then telling you so and you don't know why, I suspect that some of you don't have your style locked down consistently, from your personal style to your brand to your service delivery. If you are struggling with this, and don't worry, you're in great company if you are, I want you to get on a consult with me. And let's work together to envision the kind of party you want to throw, the kind of hostess you want to be, and how you want to invite people, so that we can create a business that is so deliciously you that people who are going to like, know, and trust you can't help but to come to the party you're throwing. They're delighted. There's a line. They can't wait to get in. That's what we want to create. So, if you're ready to create a fabulous party with a line down the street, I want you to go to www.judithgaton.com/scheduler and get on my schedule. All right, Miss J out. Thank you for listening to today's episode. To learn more about how to work with me, go to judithgaton.com. Click on the Start Here button to get access to my free personal style class. I give you a quick style win, a confidence boost, and you walk away with the tools to start getting stylish. Who doesn't love that? See you there. Miss J out.